Today's rebuild is going to be something like you've never seen before. I'm not going to lie, I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man 2 recently and came across numerous sporting arenas and open fields in the game, and it got me thinking, what is Spider-Man's favorite football team? Not that football and not Tom Holland's Spurs.
Now I reckon I cry 4 times a week. I don't cry 4 times a week, but I cry a lot.
But New York, Spider-Man's hometown. So we're taking over the New York Red Bulls in the Premier League with Peter Parker to swing them to world domination. I'm sorry NYFC, the Red Bulls came first, so they're gonna take priority. And aesthetically, they match more of Spider-Man colors, so it just makes sense. I want to find out if this guy's Spidey senses alone can keep an MLS franchise in the Prem. It's a special rebuild, a one of a kind, something you're probably never gonna see again, combining two of my favorite mediums, two of my favorite pieces of pop culture and media together, and I'm gonna try and make this work. We gotta face the facts, we're dealing with an MLS type roster with an MLS type budget of only 24 million, because in season 1 Peter Parker's gonna pull himself together and try keep this squad alive in the top flight. There is no need to fear, a dripped out Peter Parker is about to take the footballing world by storm. Not gonna lie, this 3-5-1-1 playstyle is probably the most Spider-esque looking formation I could find. We all know Spidey's got a bit of brains about him. He's a smart cookie, so his team will be playing a high IQ tiki-taka style of play. I'm not gonna lie, this team isn't gonna need a complete makeover, like there are some decent building blocks here. However, we're in the Prep, we're gonna need players that are gonna guarantee us instant success if we're gonna keep this top flight status, and players that are gonna fit this high tempo tiki-taka formation playstyle. He might have the best selling PS5 exclusive video game of all time, but Peter Parker ain't playing. We're nose diving straight into investing in future Premier League star power, and Spidey's first new recruit will be Bilal El Kanous, the mercurial Moroccan who arrives from Genk for £4 million. Snagged him from under his transfer value, and he's already proving that he's a master negotiator. I know we just came off fresh doing the free agents rebuild, aka the Mexico only rebuild, but we need a secure shot stopper in between the sticks, a little bit more stability. Another Mexican shot stopper is probably the nationality I've signed the most in career mode this year, Luis Malagon. He arrived from the bargain bin for nothing. Who else to understand a tiki-taka game plan than a Spaniard? Especially a Spanish midfielder, and we're poaching him off fellow Premier League rivals now. Spidey's Red Bulls have gone in for a permanent deal for Stefan Bajcetic. We've prized him away from Jurgen Klopp. Another $4 million bargain purchase. He's gonna slot straight in front of the defense at CDM. Spider-Man, especially in combat, his speciality is attack. But when you're coming up against the likes of Venom, Kraven the Hunter, and all random types of villains that the game throws at you, you gotta have a little defense on your side, and that's why we've pursued the Scotsman, the new king at the back in this 3-man defense, Leon King, for a straight up swap deal. We've thrown in Sean Nealis in the ring, him alongside the teenage Frenchman Lenny Yotto from Lille, who is our most expensive purchase to date, 5.5 million, and to complete our 3-man defensive set, is probably the most signed player for all your career mode RTGs. It's Yodel Hato, the Dutchman, arriving from struggling Ajax, and for some reason I feel like this screen is different. Am I tripping? Why? Okay, the player's picture is now appearing a little bigger in front of the name. When EA changed these little things, I noticed, don't you worry. Maybe that was part of the new update and they just didn't tell us. Who knows? However, the signings do not stop. We know the kind of budget we have to work with. It's not much cash, so we're going to invest in some proper hidden gems that maybe not will cut it in the Premier League. We're just going to have to find out. And it's a player that you guys have been telling me to do a player career sim of, sign in rebuilds. It's Newcastle's own Lewis Miley, who has a whopping potential in the 80s, and we've snagged him for just over £1 million. It's the definition of a bargain. We're straight up just playing Moneyball right now with Spidey. I know this probably sounds like a brand deal or something, but I can't lie, I just love Spider-Man that much. Spider-Man 2 has got to be game of the year. No, there's no way it's not game of the year. We absolutely erupted onto the scene in this transfer window, but Spidey's got to express some sales, kick a few villains out of New York, and it's going to include a few loan deals, but a couple of player sales deals. It's still a typical Sir BCHD rebuild at heart. We've got to sell some of the deadwood. We've also got to get some of those teenage star boys who haven't really cut the first team starting 11 yet. We've got to get them some game time away out on load, including Bento Estrella and the young gun Sergeant Gomma, who'll be joining Wolfsberger in Austria for a 2-year deal. A couple more loan spells and minor departures to get us set for our next little spending spree. Now, our biggest sale to date will come in the form of the team's initial first team starting goalkeeper, and that's Carlos Coronel, who'll be joining Bologna for 3 million. We had to balance the books. We had to make a couple of more moves in silence because our last 2 recruits of the window are going to be huge. We're making the most of this limited budget as the 21-year-old Argentinian right winger Luca Langoni will join us in the Spider-Verse, and we'll be able to haggle this deal down in a classic trade offer. It's now turning into a classic Peter Parker swap deal, but it's Luquinias plus £2 million as we assert our dominance, locking down a brand new starting winger. Now, this was probably Spidey's toughest boss battle to date, negotiating with Jose Mourinho for the services of their academy product Eduardo Bove. So let's just hope he's not another Italian midfielder with underlying gambling problems as we lock him down of £9 million cash only, and just like that, he's a brand new star player. And the rest of the team just kind of picks itself really. We've got a couple New York Red Bulls originals still in the starting lineup. We've applied development plans and training plans on everyone. We're actually converting John Tolkien from a left back to a CDM. Premier League survival, it's going to be a tough ask, but that's why he's in the hot seat, fighting against the odds in and out of the suit. This is what he does, people. Whilst we simulate through the first season of Spidey's managerial debut, let me know down in the comments below what's your favorite piece of Spider-Man media, whether it was one of the movies, an actor, in the video games, in the comics. I grew up with it all. I'm just an avid Spider-Man enjoyer. I can't help it. I'm not gonna spoil anything. You guys have to go ahead and play this game for yourselves. Like, take a break from FIFA for a bit and play yourselves a video game masterpiece. I can just see J. Jonah Jameson getting absolutely triggered right now because Spider-Man's Red Bulls have finished in the pretty much near the top half of the table, coming through in 11th, completely avoiding the relegation battle. They stayed clear of the bottom 3 drop zone, gathering 46 points, performing ahead of schedule by all means. Getting going pretty deep in the cup as well. A 5-2 loss to Everton in round 6 saw them bow out of the FA Cup, and elimination in the Carabao over in round 2 against Cardiff 2-0. No silverware to kick off season 1, but the lads have gone out and achieved the objective. Staying in the top flight is hard enough in of itself, so let's see how New York's team, the People's team, performed as the top goal scorer was a player we overlooked, Dante Vanzia. The brute force of a man, the Belgian striker with 15 goals and 5, making that MLS to the Premier League transition look easy, and Luca Langoni was probably our signing of the season. 13 goals and 3 for the Argentine, growing a +5, and our mercurial Moroccan captain leading the Lions, 8 goals and 9 assists for Bilal El Kanous. Bove avoided all the betting scandals as the Italian stallion with 6 goals and 3, and Stefan Bietic continuing to thrive in the Prem with guaranteed game time, and we did in fact convert John Tolkien into a CDM, so he's partnering up. Here's an update on the loan report as they've still got another year left out on their loan spells. I'm sure they're going to fit somewhere into Spidey's long-term plans for this team, but not right now. I can't deny these tiki-taka experts we've hired in the team strategy or the coach management going on behind the scenes. The backup ensemble for this team in training is absolutely elite. I'm out here only hiring the best for my man Peter. Spidey's team are going to be public enemy number 1 in season 2. We're going to wrap up and throw the curtains on this first campaign, celebrating the season that was, overachieving in every facet of our game. As a result, the financial department and the board see the vision, £51 million in order to go wild and fund this Spidey project. Now, I noticed for an American-based team, there was very little homegrown talent in the mix, and that's what I wanted to change in season 2. Peter Parker's gone out and whipped up an absolute classic. He's the marquee signing for season 2. It's Gio Reyna, who's kind of fallen off a bit in the last season or so. Had a bit of drama with him in the US men's national team at the World Cup, but the brand new number 7 for the New York Red Bulls is ready to kill it here in the Prem, as we had to buy him from Napoli for £32 million on the dot. Considering Langoni's already killing it on the right side of the pitch, I wanted to convert Gio Reyna into an out-and-out left mid. It's a no-brainer. Parker had to make it happen. In this market, I want to target every single department and make sure we strengthen in the right areas, as I thought this transfer fit the theme quite nicely. nicely. He's a fellow Peter for a Peter. It's the Hungarian shot stopper Peter Gulácsi, arriving from RB Leipzig, and considering his contract was running out, we managed to snag him on a bargain, £4.8 million under his valuation, and he's an on-brand game changer. And somewhere else on the pitch I thought could use a little helping hand. It's a decent upgrade here with a surprisingly versatile Portuguese defender. I've never heard of him before until the scouts recommended him. Felipe Relvas, arriving from Portimonense, as we had to splash £13.8 million for him to join the Red Bulls. He's a promising talent, but he's not too young. He's got a bit of experience behind him, and he can actually play at left back and centre mid. That's the kind of tenacity we need in this team, and I know I said I was done with the free agents, but when I see a player and a character like this that just randomly generates and pops up, he is not a regen. However, Eduardo Fontana, who is another versatile talent, the 18-year-old centre forward, he's rocking that long sleeve turtleneck look on the pitch, and he'll slot straight in at striker. Even though we didn't really have a problem scoring goals, I want a future first team Premier League baller up front, someone who can guarantee goals and also do a job and do a role in other positions. Our brand new number 9, Eduardo Lado. Welcome to the Spidey Revolution. And the departures list, this current batch in season 2 is quite plentiful. We've got player sales, some loan deals. In some cases, we've had to clear house. A lot of deadwood, like Tom Barlow moving to Barnsley for 470k. A few of these New York Red Bulls originals who just won't fit the current fibre of the team and the way we're moving forward. However, youngsters like Lewis Miley and Elderman will find game time away from the club this campaign. The 5'4" short king Frankie Amaya was our most expensive sale to date, making the move to Southampton for $2.15 million. With the threat of second season syndrome lingering over these lads' heads, the New York outfit are focused on the task at hand. Pretty much all of our new signings have made the cut to being our strongest first team starting 11. Rayner's converted into a left mid, and our American boy Tolkien will take the reins and be awarded that precious captain's armband. Parker's hometown heroes are aiming to get Machaya so high up the table. So let's see what season 2 delivers up for the webhead. Our very own Spider-Verse rebuild is coming into fruition here. Parker's Red Bulls are on the outskirts of that European threshold, so close to qualifying for even the conference, but 8th place doesn't get you anything, unfortunately. 58 points, still an improvement on last year, jumped up 3 spots as it was Big Ange's Spurs to finish first and become English champions, knocking Man City off their perch. Aston Villa in the top 4. This Premier League table is an absolute shambles at the moment, but in any of the other competitions, this was our only ticket into European qualification. We lost out to Aston Villa in round 5 of the FA Cup, and the Carabao went to Villa too, who are just currently on a rampage right now. Leicester City beat them out on pens in the quarters. Keep this on the down low, keep it between you and me, but I've currently got a Serie A license mod installed, and Atalanta made it all the way to the final. It's good to see them fully licensed in all their glory, them, Atalanta, Roma. But that's besides the point. These New Yorkers, they're taking on the Premier League. Our top goal scorer this season was Luca Langoni again, the Argentine right winger who's following in the footsteps of Messi. He's the next prodigal son, the chosen one of South American football. 22 goals and 4 assists. He's absolutely ripping it up on the right. Our Belgian brute Vanzier took the striker position by the scruff of the neck. 22 goals and 3, continuing his tirade up front. And Mr. America himself, Gio Reyna, 13 goals and 9 for his debut in the Prem, and a +5 growth to his overall. Eduardo Bove also managed to stay consistent with 6 goals and 2. BEK, he's just got that mercurial magic Moroccan touch as he continues to be our best playmaker. 12 assists and 4 for the Moroccan at Cam. Bajetic continues to run that tiki-taka show in the middle of the park and be our engine room. It was our Captain America making it happen with 1 goal and 3. Tolkien, his team can only get better. The momentum is building nicely as one of our most experienced men in between the sticks. Peter Gulácsi with 1 assist and 8 clean sheets. He was definitely worth every single penny. As our loan report, Lewis Miley was our biggest grower. The New Yorkers, they've got that good energy about them. There's something you can sense that something special is building. The combination of Spidey senses and top tier recruitment have them become greater together, and in season 3 are predicted to do some big things. Can we get our act together and mount them a proper European qualification run, gifted with again £53 million in the bank, pretty much bang on with last season's budget. And in this window, I'm pretty much aiming to build the bench and reinforce those backup troops. Now it just had to be. Yorel Hato is kind of hitting a plateau, and we need an instant fix at the back. In the three-man system, we've gone after an absolute character here. He's a hard man. I'm absolutely loving these Brazilian defenders this year, and it's none other than Igor, whatever you want to call him. He recently got his game face scan in, and the absolute tank will slot straight in at centre back. He's about to burst the seams of that Red Bulls jersey as he arrives for a pretty substantial £20 million. We've spent the majority of the budget on him. Those neck tats are giving me all kinds of Batman vibes, and he's going to provide us some much needed experience in defense. Next up, we needed a bit of backup and cover on the left and right hand flanks. Langoni is our only first team winger, so Yankuba Minte, Newcastle's own Gambian who can play on either side of the wings. A cheeky little hidden gem who'll do a job for us. Let's hope he's got some hidden powers in those boots, because he cost us £10.7 million to get the deal done. The backup brigade is slowly starting to get itself together, and with this guy's little cute ponytail, I couldn't resist. He's a newly added wonder kid, the Frenchman Lamardi. He's got a bit of boxing tape, he's rocking the ponytail, he's just got a bit about him. And arriving from Toulouse for £5.7 million, he's a budget option that could only get better. Activating that £5.7 million release clause is just a no-brainer. You saw the types of centre backs we were going for, our transfer targets who were just a little bit too expensive for our tastes. He is someone who's going to drain every single last penny out of our transfer budget. He'll rinse a stride, but Desiree Doué, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. He's got everything about it, an exciting young up-and-coming talent. He bloody sounds like a superhero as well, can do a job in at cam, and also can play out on the right wing. For £15 million falls right into budget. Look, I can sense something special with this kid. That's why we're sending him back out on loan. He hasn't got the quality yet to be part of the first team. It's Sergeant Goma. He's a little hidden gem. He was off to Southampton for 2 years, so hopefully he can come back to the team as a proper baller, including this kid, Cameron Harper. Poor Peter Parker feels like a real-life spider compared to this guy. Don't know who he is, but we've had to sell him off for some cash on Kita for 380k. Still some of these deals we've got to complete. The minor sales, the dirty work behind the scenes, the admin, all going on in the background as the New York clear out continues. Here's your quick little recap of all the business we were able to get done in Season 3 summer. Prioritizing the depth is the key. We don't want to get found out. As here's the first team starting 11. Igor comes in to make that entire back three 80 rated or higher, and our B-list second team sheet ready to do the honors in all the cup games. I'm low-key starting to get emotionally invested. This Spidey squad is kind of growing on me. I mean, he's taking his sweet time with it, but the man with playstyles galore has finally accomplished his position conversion. We're going to change him up into his striker, and I know he's probably better suited to be a winger, but Fontana, he's my shooter, and we're going to convert him. He doesn't get an overall upgrade as a result, but it's onwards and upwards from here. And the concrete jungle is looking as rock steady as ever in the top 5 European football guaranteed. It's the Europa League for New York, gathering that total of 65 points. They were comfortably above Chelsea, Arsenal, and Spurs. It's where dreams are made of, and we're turning them into reality here for Spidey and his boys, as they were eliminated in round 6 of the FA Cup 4-2 to Newcastle and couldn't make it all the way in the Carabao. Knocked out on pens to Arsenal, but that Premier League finish is what we're all focusing on. Parker's Premier League outfit that needs to be feared, and the top dog was in fact our brand new converted striker Eduardo Fontana. The turtleneck specialist knows how to find the back of the net. With 18 goals and 6, he's now a fully fledged striker. Him alongside Langoni and Van Zaya. The Belgian brute with double figures in goals. It was Gio Reyna on the left with 9 goals and 7. You expect a little bit more out of a player of that elite quality. He's now an 88. Our highest rated player, Eduardo Bove, with 7 and 6, and Bilal El Kanous BEK. He's crafting himself into becoming the Moroccan KDB with 6 goals and 13. Our go-to playmaker who just makes this team click, and Desiree Doué for his debut campaign coming in off the bench. Those are some stats to admire as our captain with 3 goals and 3, because our biggest grower out on loan was our homegrown Sergeant Goma, a +3 for the lad out at Southampton. As Peter Galacci, the Hungarian Spiderman in between the sticks, he might be on the wrong end of 30, only 5 clean sheets in 31 appearances. Spidey's New York franchise are cracking into the big time. They're knocking on the door, and just like the storyline in Spider-Man 2, the plot thickens, and the board are handing us out money like it's Christmas. £11 million. We've got that New York type cash to splash with the majority of our first team 11 out on international duty. That's how you know we're making it. Now, if I had to say I'd seen someone with spidey senses in real life, I'd tell you it's this guy, Diogo Costa. We're out here spending a club record transfer fee to get him in at the prime of his career. Be our brand new starting number 1. He was my go-to. He was the best keeper on FIFA 23 career mode, so we're running it back. I'm shameless. I don't care. He's probably my most signed goalkeeper in career mode history. I just love him. He's pulled off Champions League final rebuild masterclasses before, and I'm sure he's got another one left in him. And for 68.6 million pounds arriving from Porto, he's going to overtake the other Peter in between the sticks. And that left us with just enough money to go after another player to bring in off the bench. He's kind of giving me a little bit of super sub energy. He's single-handedly saving my fantasy Premier League team every week. It's the Ghanaian from Brentford, Brian Mbeumo, who somehow over the course of 5 seasons deep in this rebuild has stayed loyal to the Bees, and he'll be linking up with Peter Parker to do a job on the right for £25.9 million in today's market. Just like that, our transfer budget has vanished because we had to renew a couple deals and get some contracts upgraded. So that's pretty much all the action we could take as we loan out that young French midfielder Lamedy to Newcastle for a year. It's a team now ensembled to compete on multiple fronts, and Peter Parker, he's got to set the standard. I want at least some silverware to add to the cabinet. Hell, I'd take a Carabao Cup at this rate. Just something we can treasure. How's that for a debut European tour? We're drawn into Group B of the Europa alongside Olympique Lyon, Besiktas and Greuther Fürth. Book your flights, get your tickets, because I'm fiending for a deep European run. Oof, that's got a sting on the final day, coming through not even runners up but third in a 4-horse title race. New York are up in the top 4. That's Champions League qualification, and it's an improvement on 5th place last year with 77 points. Seeing a team win the league with less than 80 points is like a common occurrence this year. Right here in the FA Cup, we lost 2-1 in the big dance at Wembley against Man City, who are like the Oscorp of the football world. They're just an evil empire with loads of money, and it just seems like they're impossible to stop. As over in the Carabao, it was a similar situation in round 4 elimination to Everton 2-1. I mean, you take that on the chin, you lose out to the champions. It was Liverpool to win the Europa League at 2-1. Our boys were eventually knocked out in the quarterfinals 3-1 to Inter. When you talk about big evil corporations, it's exactly what the Champions League final was. Man City taking on PSG. Our silverware goals were dashed by the citizens, but at what cost? Our top performers in the squad, we're going to take a look at Luca Langoni, who has just set the world on fire ever since he came here. 26 goals and 7 assists. Give this man the key to the city, the king of New York, and right by his side is the new king of the concrete jungle, our Belgian brute, Dante Van Zea, who has overtaken Fontana for some reason. He's showing no signs of slowing down, nearly hitting 30 as BEK has entered a new realm of possibilities. That production is elite. Double figures in both goals and assists, 35 goal contributions. Get you a man that can do both, as we have Fontana, who has been treated as second fiddle up front, 12 goals and 2. We've got Bove with 10 goal contributions, and Gio Reyna on the left is starting to get into his playmaker bag with 15 assists. Tolkien had a season to remember as our captain, Yoro with 3 goals from the back, and it was 10 goal contributions for our tiki-taka king. And it turns out that loan spell for Noah Lamadi at Newcastle did him a world of good, +4. And in between the sticks, even though we spent so much money on him, it was a 3-way share between him, Golashi and Malagon. This team has made me feel like I've got the power of the sun in the palm of my hands, and to think it could get even better. New York is about to transform into Nueva York, if you know what I mean. Hitting the half-a-decade milestone, Peter Parker is putting the pieces of the jigsaw together. Now it's all starting to click here under Spidey, as we're gifted with a lovely little 141 million to play with. Now, realistically speaking, we can only kind of upgrade one main spot in our starting 11, and I want him to embody the main essence, the main core of the team. He's got to fit the philosophy, the play style, the team chemistry. I don't know, I'm just yapping right now. I've got to somehow justify spending over half our transfer budget on Ohian Sansei from Athletic Bilbao for 73.4 million with Through Elderman in the mix. And trust me when I say this, lads, Sansei is here to save the day. He's an upgrade on Bove right behind El Canus. I know it says he's a cam, but I want him to play as a box-to-box number 8, centre mid. And our next pursuit is getting in another high-quality centre back to do a shift for us in that 3-man backline, and that's none other than Antonio Silva. It's another trade slash swap deal as we included a player that never really hit the ground running. This Scottish centre half, this king bloke, we gave him to Leeds United. Player plus cash, including £56.4 million. And that'll wrap up our quality over quantity type transfer strategy we're going for. Hopefully that means we're now Champions League ready, as both the first and second squad are looking above par. And the lads are peaking at the right time, as we've been gifted a relatively easy Champions League group, drawn into Group A alongside a Milan, Sporting and Hajduk Split. Now I threw out that Man City diss at the end of last season, and it seems like they've taken it personally. They've gone ahead, won the league, we're runners up and get that silver medal. However, what I didn't foresee was us meeting them in not one, but two major finals. Chance to inflict some revenge on the citizens, as we're in an FA Cup final. You saw the Champions League, and over in the Carabao, they're looking at getting their treble, a quadruple even. Oh, we could have had all three finals against City too, if only we didn't get knocked out against Everton in the semis. It's down to Peter Parker and the gang to stop an evil corporation dominating the world. It would be an absolute story and a half. However, we're going to sim the first final here, the FA Cup. We're desperate for some silverware. This team hasn't really won anything up until this point, and here's the Manchester City squad we're expected to face. That front three is going to give me nightmares. We're definitely living in a simulation because Balde's moved to Man City. Now we're taking them on as a little bit of a warm-up. It's the entree before the Champions League, and can they do it? Oh, they got so close there, losing out on Pens 4-2. After it finished 2-2, it was Bove and Rena who let us down from the spot kick, and here we go. Fontana and Sunset scored in regular time. It's the kind of result that makes you want to kick a fat kid at Kmart. Now surely the lads are going to use that as fuel and motivation to get one over them in the big dance. Now I know Spiderman doesn't kill, but trust me, these lads are going to be out for blood tonight. Our top goal scorer was Luca Langoni. He's been a revolution ever since he came to New York with 31 goals, 15 assists. He's our very own Messi, and at 26 only in his prime, he is an absolutely scary talent. One of my finds of FC24 so far, Guardo Fontana finally clicked into gear. He was serious about himself with 29 goals and 6 assists, the Italian stallion up front. Given a helping hand by the ever versatile, the ever dynamic BEK. Bilal, 42 goal contributions, both perfectly balanced. A Moroccan marvel that needs to be studied, as Oyhan Sunset slotted perfectly into our midfield spine. Suited that tiki-taka style of play, 17 goals and 11 assists. And Van Zaya, even off the bench, providing us a decent super sub option for Fontana, 14 goals and 3. Eduardo Bove, who wants to put that FA Cup final miss behind him with 13 goals and 5. Let's hope he can redeem himself tonight, because Gio Reyna and other players on the roster are still in the show. Noah Lamari, 6 goals and 1 for the French midfielder, 4 goals for Yoro at the back, and Antonio Silva's debut campaign. He established himself as a first team starter. Bayetic, another Spanish midfielder who we've relied upon, 3 goals and 4 for the ex-Liverpool star. And Captain America, 1 goal, 11 assists. He's pulling the strings alright. As we built up our very own Spider-Verse in New York, it was Bilal El Kanous Us, shooting his way up to being our most valuable asset, with only £1 million separating him and Langoni. Yeah, Pep City, they're not really sticking to their guns. Fielding a less stronger starting 11 in this Champions League final. Instead of Foden, they've got Doku out on that left-hand flank. It's Pep's old style tiki-taka versus gegenpressing. You already know, it's our starting ensemble you've all come to know and love, ready to take on this boss battle. We gotta hit them with that New Yorker attitude, you know, like the classic, you know, I'm walking here. Oh, it's Peter Parker reluctantly shakes hands with Pep. Let's get this underway. Oh, we're wearing the away kit. I wanted that red Spider-Man look, but anyway, we'll get the job done in yellow. CDM's to drop back and help out, but it's Doku who cuts it across Diogo Costa with his first of many saves he's gonna make tonight. Continuing to force the issue here is Pedone wants to take a shot, and Doku's away, and Doku again who cuts back inside. But Diogo Costa, he's got his spidey senses on lock tonight. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of is the thing you can't do. Yeah, City from the corner. How many people got back in the box and no one can block that? Nonetheless, I think that's our Canada event. I can't interfere. We go 1-0 down and Peter's furious. Fontana, who's got no one in support, and this for El Kanous for an instant response. McAtee over to Haaland, and Haaland, that's gonna be a penalty. Yep, we're playing this boss battle on Ultimate, it seems like. Yoro, who had a terrible touch on the other half, has barely even brushed Haaland over, and he's made the most of that. Can we get a bit of redemption here, and justice is served? Yeah, that's why he didn't win the Ballon d'Or, mate. Messi's my goat. They've gone for the short corner again. Langoni's failed to clear Perrone again.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Whoa, Hato, what a tackle. Bully Maguire would be happy with that. The referee gives him a yellow. And... oh my god. Oh no, he's back at it again. And Haaland, he's dropped our entire defense. But Diogo Costa is keeping it from being a Halloween massacre. We're doing what the CPU do. Cut it back inside. Langoni was there. And Fontana wants to slip into a channel. He's going to cut it back to El Canus, who just wants to pop one from distance. And I thought that was the moment. Tactical changes here, people. Mbuemo coming on. Bove replacing Sansei. And Fontana off for Van Zier. Is the game ever going to let us do our subs, or can I just keep running? Oh my god. Langoni! How's he gotten away with that? Langoni now. Cut back inside. He sees... who's that in the middle? It's El Canus with the finesse shot. The equalizer in the 86th minute. The subs haven't even kicked in yet. It's a fox in the box type beat. And New York, after being out of the game, defending for their lives. And it's that left foot placement from BEK. That is when we needed him most. And he's turned up. The referee going to allow us to attack? No, of course not. We're into extra time. Another half an hour of football. Potentially penalties to settle this. Nah, Haaland is actually punished. It's 105th minute. That might be the winner, you know. After all that good work we've done, there's only so much Diogo Costa can do. Needs to find an option. El Canus, who could thread a needle in a haystack. And Van Zier finds Langoni, our danger man, to clink it into the top left corner. And to force it into penalties. Get the ball out the back of the net, son. Our Argentine diamonds. We've turned from a rookie into a real superstar. And we've made the most of our chances. That's why Pep Guardiola's triggered right now. Langoni with a lovely delivery inside. El Canus narrowly missed. Call it pens. Alright, spot kicks to the side that it is. And if my blood pressure couldn't get any higher, I'm about to have heart palpitations watching this go down. If there was ever a time for the Spidey squad to clutch up, it's now. As Rodrigo takes the first penalty, Diogo Costa was nearly there. I'm terrible at penalties. Why do I do this to myself, man? I'm absolutely... yes, let's go. Mbuemo. Alright, and Yasiri. We've got to... oh, we nearly played the mind games with him. Our bulky Belgian, who just wants to slot it down the middle. Now, Rodrigo. Let's play the mind games again. Diogo. Oh, he's actually done us, man. You're not Pirlo. You can't pull that off, bro. Stop trying to be him. Langoni. He's... oh, yes, thank God. Alright, Andrich. Who are you? Who are you, Andrich? Oh, Diogo Costa dove the right way. All right, Bove, you missed in the FA Cup final. But today's a different day. Tonight's a different night. Let's score this. And he slots it away. We're 4 for 4. And now, Phillips, who's a professional bench warmer. Gonna convert. This is pressure. Bajetic. He's been here since day one. Down the middle he goes. Come on, we just got to have City miss one. Hartman. Who's Hart? The Hart regen. Why did he take so long to dive? He would have got there. Antonio Silva. Why, we've got a defender taking a penalty. Down the middle. Come on. Edison's up to take the pen. There's no way Edison has scored. El Canus needs to score against City's penalty scorer. Now Bastoni. City's captain gave us the eyes and we gave in. All right, Tolkien. The captain can't let us down, but his bloody heartbeat can't get any higher. Oh my God, we've got it right on. Our number 47 down the middle, and it's always working like a charm, but we need City to miss, or come on, Balde, to guess the right way. And of course we don't. It's gonna be the death of me, but we score that one. Lotto, come on. All right, Pau Torres, come on. If he does miss... why is he... the head movement always messes me up, man. Now Hato. Come on, Hato. Come on. Come on. Come on, Hato.
Huh?
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
Right hook. Just see my neighbours watching me. Go away. Let me pretend to be a Man United winger in peace. Nah, bro, I actually just give up. This game, its mission is to piss me off. It's so over. I just give up. I quit. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. Fuck it.